This WAFLW live stream is brought to you by Optus, proud partner of the WAFL and WAFLW. The West Coast Eagles, supporting WA female footballers to follow their dreams. Kia, proud partner of the WAFLW. This is Kia. Simply Energy, supporting WA Footy's talent pathway.
A very good afternoon and welcome to Fremantle Community Bank Oval this afternoon. The 2021 Optus Women's WAFL season continues. A couple of fixtures yesterday, but round 13 sees the winless South Fremantle Bulldogs taking on the Claremont Tigers. Well, the tail of the tape, as you can see, the South Fremantle looking for their first ever win. They're 0-12, currently at the foot of the table, taking on Claremont Tigers, who are 6 wins and 6 losses, and currently in the top 4. They're clinging on to third spot. They've already met once throughout the 2021 season, back in round 7, and it was the Tigers prevailing 8-4-52 to South Fremantle 0-5-5, so that margin 47 points. All time, they have played 4, and it's gone all the way of the Tigers 4-0. Claremont currently on screen. Well, they've lost their last 4 after starting the season in red-hot fashion. They were 6 wins and 2 losses before finding a bit of indifferent form. The siren sounded and the umpires' players are getting ready. Gloomy, dark conditions. It's going to be cold and wet this afternoon, but that I don't think will favour either side, as the Bulldogs, as we said, trying to look for their first win in their club history. Well, joining me after the break, AFLW player Paris Laurie will run our eye over the 2 lineups and preview round 13 of the Optus WAFL women's competition. We'll be right back.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple. Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know.
Welcome back to Fremantle Community Bank Oval. The Claremont Tigers beginning their warm-ups this afternoon. They are down in the Port City to take on the winless South Fremantle Bulldogs, who started the season pretty promisingly. They went down by just 3 points to Subiaco before the rails. They went off the rails of sorts, but they've been competitive in the last 3 rounds. A 25-point loss to Subi, 24-point loss to East Fremantle, and the same margin in a loss to Peel. Claremont, as I said before the break, have lost their last 4 after starting the season, 6 wins and 2 losses. But an important game for the Tigers today, and we'll be able to get an expert insight into the minds of what the Tigers will be coming into, trying to arrest some of this poor form at the moment. Paris Laurie, a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Good to be here. I'm excited to see today's match.
They've lost their last 4 after starting so red hot, 6 wins and 2 losses. It's a bit of a crunch season for the Tigers within this competition to really try and assert themselves on the competition and cash in on particularly with such great availability to some of the more high-profile players in the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. they had a fantastic start to the year, and they've started to get those AFLW girls coming back through now. So I think they'll be looking to sort of just get everyone on the same page. I think that might be some of the reason behind their fall away in the recent weeks. I think having girls in and out all the time can sometimes affect the way you all play together, but I'm hoping that today they're all on the same page and can have a good game.
Could be a dangerous game this afternoon because the conditions probably aren't conducive to running, marking football, so it's going to be a territory game. But the South Fremantle Bulldogs have got some pretty promising youngsters coming through their ranks, and it could be a danger game for the Tigers today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this weather and the field conditions today will actually be pretty good for Souths. I think they always bring a lot of energy and attack the contest quite hard, so I think today will take a little bit of skill away from the game, which might be right up their alley.
Now, coming into the round, I mean, this is going to be a massive game, as we said, for the Tigers. They're currently sitting third, but Subiaco and East Fremantle snapping at their heels. Subi just one win behind coming into this round, and then the Tigers actually play Subiaco next week, then Peel, so it's crunch time of the season right now. Yeah,
absolutely, and I think they really need to work out how they're all playing together today, and they can come into the next two games on the same page, but Subi always seem to find themselves a way to get into finals footy, so I'm sure we'll expect to see them in there. But yeah, I guess similar form to East Freo too.
So the Bulldogs will break from their huddle to the right of our screen. There is a fairly stiff breeze blowing to the left of your screen, noticeable walking into the ground this afternoon. Paris, I'll get your take on Tessa Dumanis. 10 goals so far throughout 2021 and 9 of those in the last 6 rounds. Her 25th WAFLW game today. She'll play a key part, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's just getting better and better every time I see her play, and more confidence is definitely helping her game as well. But she just finds a way to create things in the forward line for Claremont. So hopefully she can continue to do that through the weather today.
Interesting to see how Emily Bennett goes today, a WA under-19 2021 representative, one of the best athletes in the competition, a state netballer at age 11, and then represented WA in athletics, and she'll be another one to keep an eye on this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Emily Bennett is a absolute gun, and she actually went to the school that I teach at.
Oh, wow. All right, so the umpire holds the ball aloft. Thanks to Front Row Screens, wonderful supporters of WA football. Round 13, the final fixture of the round is underway. The Bulldogs win the first tap, and it'll be the Tigers kicking to the left of the screen. They will be aided with, you would suggest, maybe a 2 to 3 goal breeze. The windsock almost flying horizontally to the left of your screen. Centre clearances will be crucial today. The Tigers try and usher it out the side door. It's going to be socket off the ground by Tua Karina, one of the bright lights of this competition. We'll touch on her form a little later in the call. So the Bulldogs venture forward first. Spinning out of trouble. That's a high ball. Into a bit of a vacant space inside 50. Bit of a foot race. Leading back to charge there was Ortlip. Elects to go off the ground. Goes with the along the ground hand pass. Sold her teammate into a bit of trouble there, and Emily Bennett, the young lady that we were just speaking about, and the umpire says no prior opportunity. So the 18-minute terms. No time added on. Starting with Cert there, dominance is Mim Strom in the ruck. And we might have to get used to seeing this a bit this afternoon, Paris, as the repeat stoppages. Mim Strom might be a bit of a handful in the ruck today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you can get her in there, she'd be a great little weapon for Souths.
So stooping down to pick it up was Arnott, but she was bundled over the line and out of play. We await another stoppage. Kia scoreboard, we're yet to register a point. Haven't been inside 50 yet. Trying to break her way through a tackle there was Ella Ward, going nowhere. Having been fortunate enough to cover the last couple of seasons in this competition, I think the tackling intensity and the application is definitely an area of the game that's improved. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to see as well girls that are going in are protecting themselves a little more. It was a bit of a worry to see girls go into a contest a few years ago, but the girls have definitely improved in that area. It's good to see.
So Claremont finally get a decisive whack out of the congestion. The umpire says that's high, and rightfully so. Connor Mannix and Ryan Harrison are the two umpires in the lime green today. Down towards the interchange gates. That flew through the hands of Templeman. And out of play again. It's come off hand, so the last touch rule will be in effect off the boot, but anything off hands between the 50-metre arcs will be a ball in. So Matilda Husband, that's a shallow boundary throw, and it goes over the head of both rucks. Trying to break through the tackle there was Arnott. Hand pass receding a little bit of ground, but they finally get an venture forward through Orme. Now towards the far side of the ground, and there's a very strong tackle laid and holding the ball, the first decision of the afternoon.
Tackle pressure is fantastic from South, starting early.
So Nikita Little, be happy with that start. Transfers play out towards this near side. Good strong body work. South Fremantle loaded with younger talent, just haven't been able to string it all together across 4 quarters so far this season. They go inside 50 for the first time, so the hand pass received and back inside 50. That was from Ella Ward, and a strong mark taken out by Wakefer, another WA under-19 player. And that was strong work and a clever kick. And finally, the Bulldogs get a little reward coming inside 50. So this will take her best effort. Strong breeze, as you can see it holding up in that slipstream at the moment. And the Tigers dodge a bullet there.
Now for South, I guess it's just about trying to lock this footy in their forward line. And whoever can do that the best today, I'm sure will come away with the win.
So the thoughts of Paris Laurie, ex-Fremantle Dockers and current West Coast Eagles squad member. Here come the Tigers, walking the tightrope on the outer side of the ground. Good build-up play. Playing on is Demanis. Tigers extract the football, kick around the corner, inside 50, but no one at home for the Tigers. Leading the run back there is Cowold. She kicks very high, and you can see the ball just hanging in that breeze, and that's off hands. Again, this has been a promising start from the Bulldogs. They look to be hitting targets and not just blazing away.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can keep this up, it'll be a pretty close contest.
High throw in, one down at the front by Ella Ward. Good smother. Down in the right forward pocket, there's a snap coming into goal, and the goalkeeper role played expertly there by the Bulldogs. And we have our first score of the afternoon. It's almost taken us 6 minutes. If you've just joined us, Claremont kicking with the aid of a big breeze to the left of your screen. Trying to arrest a 4-game losing skid. That kick holds up in the breeze. They get it outside 50, but it could be coming back with interest at the moment. So trying to step around a tackler is Low. And chopped off in the last line of defence there. Nikita Little. Laid a strong tackle before. That's an interesting decision to go down the line. Might turn out okay. Steps through the heavy traffic. That's a better clearing kick this time to a big pack of players and just too strong. Tigers look to play on, and that is a good mark. So their first clean entry inside 50, and the one-on-one matchup has Amy Franklin, who is a danger in front of the big stick. She's kicked 8-5 this season. Recruited from West Perth. That was strong bodywork, Paris.
Yeah, that was a terrific mark, especially in wet weather. Also, the mark out here on the 50 was really good as well, and get that straight back into Claremont.
So the chance for our first major of the afternoon, and Amy Franklin obliges. First blood to the Tigers on the Kia scoreboard. 1-1 plays no score, but South Fremantle with the early lead in the inside 50 count as we have a look at the Optus replay. Perfect ball drop and a nice follow through. Franklin has her 9th of the season. 180 centimetres, tall target.
Being played on by Mim Strom too, so good work to get a mark in there, as Mim's probably, or definitely has the height advantage.
Yeah, Mim Strom, 17 games in the AFLW for Freo. Brothers Zach and Noah. Solid footballers as well, but I'm sure Mim's the better footballer in the family. Jarring tackle, knocks the ball loose. Andy Payne. Now, has that been roped in? We'll wait on the umpire's decision. Ella Ward, given the benefit of the doubt this time. So approaching the midway point of this first term, Claremont trying to make 8 of this big breeze. Hacked out of congestion up towards right half forward. Interesting bouncing ball. Mind you, the ground's in better condition. I was at Leederville Oval yesterday, Paris, and that was an absolute bog and swamp there.
Yeah, that oval definitely gets its money worth. There's a lot of games being played on there, a lot of teams training there as well.
So the umpires pulled out a free kick. It's going the way of the Bulldogs, and they re-enter 50 through Byrne, and that's another good mark. So they're making a mockery of these wet conditions at the moment. This is Brianne Spencer this time, and she plucks the mark, but you would suggest too far out to score in this breeze.
I think she might be hoping for a few leads to come out, but it doesn't look like South's offering.
Well, only 2 players back in the goal square for the Bulldogs, as that one was 3 iron, straight on a straight line. And again, we have a pluck out of the air, and they're inching it forward into this very strong breeze at the moment. And what a fantastic work that was from Wakefa. That's 2 strong marks inside forward 50, and a chance for her to double her season total. She's kicked 1-1 for the season. Goal umpire does a lot of work to the left, but the immediate response, and that could be worth its weight in gold, particularly kicking against this breeze, Paris.
Very impressive marks in this last 5 minutes. These girls must be wearing some quality grippo, I think, today.
Happy with her work, and why wouldn't she be? She's taken 2 strong grabs. A couple of WA under-19 products out there. Last Wednesday night, we saw the debut of the under-17 AFLW National Champs, WA Gold versus WA Black. How do you rate the quality of younger players coming through? I mean, we had the under-19 National Championships, WA with a win over Allies before going down to Vic Metro. How do you see the progress of the state team coming along at underage level?
Yeah, fantastic to see WA doing so well and so many girls really performing in those games and away on that trip. But, yeah, I think the girls coming through at the moment are girls that have been playing football for a long time now, and their skills, you can tell, and their read of the play and their knowledge of footy is just amazing in comparison. So, yeah, I'm sure they're all hunting for our spots.
Good thing to have competition at any level of sport. Tigers re-enter 50. That mark won't be taken. Bulldogs defenders receding ground. They have to hack it across the goal. So the only option really. Tigers looking to get numbers at the drop of the football. Just overrunning the footy on that time was Carter, but she did well to butter up. Fires off the hand pass to a teammate in Bennett. She can snap around the body, and it just blows across the face of goal. But that was sensational work. Tightening the clinch there. And unfortunately, Catherine Bennett just couldn't benefit from that good work. So they add another point to their score. 1-2 plays 1 straight. That's on the Kia scoreboard. 7 minutes remain in this opening term. Thanks to front row screens. The umpire says that was legal, so that's a good, strong contested mark by Ward. Originally from the Jandakot Jets. Hugs the boundary line with that kick. Through a set of hands and out of play. Jess Lowe, an experienced campaigner at this level.
Yeah, Jess Lowe's a fantastic player, very consistent.
Perfect throw in from the boundary umpire. Bulldogs looking to work their way out of congestion. No one standing on the wing for the Bulldogs in red and white jumpers, so it allows the Tigers another chance to come inside 50. Will that pitch inside the 50-metre arc? It will, so anything off foot and inside 50 will result in a ball in.
Done well there. I think South definitely had the numbers at the contest, but no one outside to give to, whereas Claremont was the opposite.
Clever kick too from Hamilton Smith in the end, because going 20 metres with the ball, and much like a touch finder in rugby, it'd be stiff to get Pay deliberate there. Through the hands there of Arnott. They play a bit of tunnel ball. Wheeling around onto the right boot is Carter. Partially smothered. Can the Tigers keep it in this time through Bennett? It was clever, but her teammates going nowhere. Buried under a sea of red and white jumpers is Ella Smith. Yet to have a blemish on her scorebook. She kicked 5 straight. Arnott, good strong work on the ball. Searching for a teammate in Hamilton Smith again, but they turn it over. Lucy Gilchrist, a fantastic player for Wesley Curtin, getting her opportunity at WAFLW level. Out towards the outer side, this is Rogers. And stoop down, got a target inside 50. Just a little too far, and Bennett's been very, very active, Catherine Bennett, in the early stages of this game, but just couldn't get on the end of that pass inside 50.
Good to see Brooke White lower the eyes and not just blaze away. I think Claremont can sometimes fall into that habit, so good to see they're still looking for those leads that are coming out.
Claremont looking to build on this 2-point lead. Bulldogs have been very competitive. And we await the umpire, no prior. Ella Smith with the palm down. Gang tackle there is the number 23 and Kiara Templeman from South Bunbury Junior Footy Club. Will be familiar with these colours. The Tigers down there in Bunbury.
Good to see country girls getting a run in the waffle.
Yep, indeed. Clever work at ground level there from Ugle. Fed it off to a teammate. They can get the clearing kick. It's just this line of the ground at the moment. They haven't been able to get some real penetration. Tigers come back in. That's an interesting centering ball at the moment. The Tigers get a little running shot for goal. They go along the floor, and probably the best decision. That was a clever goal in the end, off the left boot of Goodwin Wissink, I think it was.
Yeah, great kick from Amber there. That was fantastic.
So kicks her 5th goal of the season. That was clever because she was under a bit of pressure and elected not to put it up in this breeze, but to go almost put it on the slip and slide between the big sticks.
She has a fantastic drop punt too, but nice to see she went for that, that option. Bit of flair.
We can get away with it on a wet ground like this because the ball, it is literally like throwing it onto a slippery slide. It'll end up true, but that was clever work and a goal seemingly out of nothing. Three goals we've witnessed in the closing the dying embers of this first term. To the left of your screen. Umpires swallowed the whistle, allowing the play to go on. Breaking away through is Jess Lowe. Started this game fantastically well. That was a good spoil on the football. Gilchrist stooped down but couldn't handle the slippery bar of soap there. That allows Ugle a chance to clear, but it's going to come back. We've seen some interesting pack marks, and Jess Lowe probably best on ground so far in this first term.
Yeah, a lot of courage going back with the flight in that one.
Clever kick too, just into a bit of space there towards the pocket. Just breaking away through now, through the pack is Bennett. Her flying shot for goal only just missed. I love how she just looks to take on the game and knows where the big sticks are.
Yeah, she's very good at breaking tackles and has a nice kick as well. It was good.
The defender slipping, and that resulted in the kick being chopped off. So clever heads-up work there from Carter, who slid in and took a very good mark, and another chance to get 2 goals. First chance for back-to-back goals for either team.
Yeah, Mika Carter, I think she might be looking to dish this one off. If not, she's probably hoping Amber might take it on the goal line.
6 games in this competition. Won't have the distance this time, but puts it up to a chaos spot. South Fremantle player spoiling the ball. In fact, it's hit her in the nose. Let's hope she's okay. And then a higher tackle is going to be paid by the officiating umpire. So the Tigers will get another chance, as there's a couple of bodies on the turf at the moment.
Yeah, wet footy to the nose is never a good time.
Probably saved a certain goal in the end. I think that's Ella Higgins. So the recipient of the free kick will be Ella Smith. Looking for a second. In fact, this will be her first, my apologies. She's kicked 5 straight on the season, and I'll put the marker on her first blemish throughout the year.
Commentator's curse.
I've had a few of those. Brandon Material was a prime example yesterday from all of 10 metres out. There's the siren. Well, that ends a pretty entertaining and skillful term. South Fremantle putting up a good fight. They're 1 straight 6. But it's the Tigers with the aid of that big breeze. 2 goals, 4-16. So that's a 10-point margin. The thoughts very briefly of Paris Laurie as we head into the quarter-time break.
Very even match up until that last 5 minutes where Claremont were able to lock it in there. But I think if South can come out the same way they did in that first quarter, they might be able to get Claremont off guard a little bit there. And hoping to see a little bit more of Kelsey Lang, number 29 for Claremont in the next quarter. She debutante came through the amateurs.
Yep.
So good to see girls coming through that pathway and able to get a game in the WAFL and the WAFL League as well, which is really good.
And through one of the oldest clubs in the West Australian Football League, or the Perth Community Football League and University. So wonderful to get more new talent coming through. Well, we've reached quarter time here at a windy and blustery and wet Fremantle Community Bank Oval. Don't go anywhere. On the other side of the break, we'll run through some of the numbers and maybe talk about yesterday's results, and we'll be right back. Optus WAFL women's coverage for 2021. We'll be right back.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple. Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
Welcome back to Fremantle Community Bank Oval. The Tigers currently on screen. They are enjoying an early lead over the winless South Fremantle Bulldogs. 10 points the margin at half time. Matt Chechen's in commentary, and our expert this afternoon, Paris Laurie. And Paris, an optimistic start from the Bulldogs. They had weight of possession in the early stages of that opening term. Couldn't really capitalise on their forward 50 entries, and then the Tigers sneak a couple to the left of screen, but then the Bulldogs managed to bite back. Still all to play for on this second term rather.
Yeah, absolutely. In this quarter they'll have the breeze as well, so hopefully they can do a bit with that.
Have a looking at some of the better players at the moment. I think Jess Lowe, arguably best on ground, would you say, so far through one term?
Yeah, I think they've definitely saved Claremont. She's saved Claremont a few times and disposed of the footy quite well too.
Adele Arnott has been busy, and Catherine Bennett providing to be a good target player inside forward 50.
Yeah, giving them lots of opportunities, and as soon as they start to go through the big sticks, she'll be on.
So Wakeford kicked the only goal for South Fremantle. They've taken a couple of really good grabs in these slippery conditions in the opening half, which we might get to have a look at thanks to Optus. Have a look at this pack mark. Beautifully done, and this is Wakeford stabbing home. Only just snuck in too. The goal umpire dancing a long way to the left. Looked a little nervous, but it still managed to get through. And there's Bennett. She's been very lively. The tackling from both teams has been excellent through this first term. Interestingly enough, with the Bulldogs, Mim Strom started in the ruck, probably for the first couple of minutes, but then they pushed her behind the ball and she was playing at full back.
Yeah, exactly. I think they must be, hoping to really get a good back line, get a good start down there. So they've put Mim down there with a bit of experience, and that height as well, I'm sure will help them. But it'll be interesting to see if she goes through the ruck later in the game.
So Paris, talk us through your season at the moment, obviously off season for the AFLW competition. What does the next couple of weeks look like for you?
Yeah, so we're in our off-season programs at the moment, and I think they've now moved our pre-season to start in September, but we'll have a high performance academy in a few weeks' time that'll just go for a short period, and then a short amount of time off before we're straight into pre-season. But It's exciting to have the season move forward. I think it'll be pretty cool to play over Christmas and New Year time.
Yep. So both teams back into the middle of the ground and back into positions. It'll be Claremont to the right of your screen into a very stiff breeze. Two, 4, 16 to 1 straight 6. Thanks to Optus 5G. Arnott on hands and knees managed to strip the football away from an opponent. That could be prior opportunity in holding the ball there on Spencer. The umpire's letting them play. Jess Lowe feeding it out wide now to Orm. Kicks up towards left half forward. Bennett lost her feet this time. Ball still in dispute. Slapped out towards Gilchrist. Kick was smothered. Back in towards the Bullseyes. Just landing short of its intended target. Strong body work there from Fortescue. Claremont with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Good shepherding allows Dyke, who gets dumped as she kicked. No free kick down the ground. Tua Corona swings it up towards centre half forward. That's come off a set of hands. Good tackle as well. Laid on there, a bit unfortunate, was Emily Bennett. Claremont straight through the middle of the ground. Need to take the game on at the moment. Little hand pass smothered. Is that in the back? No, said the umpire. That's a very clever hand pass through heavy traffic from Demanis. Off to Bennett. She's corralled in a great tackle from Ugle. She's done a couple of impressive things, the youngster, in the back line, early stages of this game. Kicks to a 2-on-1. Mark's not taken this time. And kick on the wing will be smothered coming out from Fortescue. No addition yet to our scores at quarter time.
A lot of smothers so far today. Good to see the girls getting in there and putting their hands over the footy.
And not an area of the game that comes to skill, is it? It's more will.
Exactly, yeah, a bit of effort.
Clever tap there from Husband. Tumbled the ball inside 50 on the non-preferred left. Interesting ball in front of Tua Corina. Well judged mark right in front of her own interchange bench there. They'll be happy with Michaela Rogers, part of that under-17 gold team. The inaugural Nationals. Heavy congestion on this near side, another ball up. In fact, the umpire's pinged holding the ball, so rewarding the effort there of Matilda Husband. Made a good start to this term. So players nicely spread out in the ground. It's not congested at the moment. 2-on-1 favours the Bulldogs there through a series of set of hands. Head over the footy was Cowold. Lost her feet. Well done, Ashley Little. Just spun out of heavy congestion. Again, the Tigers across the middle of the ground managed to repel. Kicking for territory. Has it come off hands? We'll wait. No, it hasn't. So the last touch rule will see it come back to the Bulldogs. Goodwin Wissing not able to get a fingernail on that one.
Oh, terrific mark there by Ella Smith.
As we said before, a country footballer, South Bunbury. Nice little transfer of play into the corridor. Kate Orme. Must be wonderful for the Tigers to have access to someone like Orme as well, playing for the Tigers.
Absolutely. She's got a tank on her and works really hard all game.
The Bulldogs from centre half back into the middle of the ground. Tigers link up by hand today has been exceptional. That's a barrel and a good mark in defence. Elia Ugle from Narrogin. Big part of the football world. A lot of players have come out of that area. Barry Cable, one of them. Interesting kick back into the middle of the ground. No clean mark as a little bit of light rainfall begins to fall. Roden Zimdal. That'll go out of play, so turning it over back to the Tigers. Bit of a stalemate played in the middle of the ground in this term, Paris.
Yeah, I think it's just Claremont are getting that link-up play and then not really able to finish off. And I think at the moment, Souths are sort of blazing away when they get it. So if they could be a little bit more composed, they might be able to take it over Claremont.
So Claremont play the horseshoe brand of football across half-back. Ella Smith, that's a couple of good passages for her. Toes that one down the line.
Pick up by Matilda.
It was in these conditions, but she's set upon by Ugle. Jarred the footy loose. Trying to get away through some traffic was Ashley Little. That was brilliant. Despite it not coming off, it looks as though the Bulldogs are just willing to take the game on through the middle of the ground. Bit of a foot race on the outer side. Bennett steps around one tackler, runs her full measure, lowers the eyes inside 50. No clean mark taken. Is that taking the player's legs out? No, said the umpire. Getting down at ground level, Goodwin Wissing hooks it round on the left boot, misses the lot. Ambitious effort, but that was a clever pickup. We've seen some really clean skills at ground level.
Yeah, absolutely. This weather, I definitely thought that we wouldn't see it today, but the girls have proven me wrong.
I mean, I fumbled my car keys 3 times just walking in to the building today. Bulldogs relentless with their pressure on the football at the moment. Orme looking for the sanctuary of the boundary line. That somehow stayed in. Sat up there for Shakira Pickett. Hand pass was a little straight. Putting her head over the football courageously was Turley. Again, it was that hacking kick, but it just always ends up in the arms of the Tigers midfielder. Looking to take the game on was Fortescue. Fortunate not to give away the holding the ball decision.
Yeah, it was a great run-down tackle. She looked like she may have come off second best from it too.
Still down on her haunches. We'll keep an eye there as the ball trickles out on that far side of the ground. 7.5 minutes have elapsed in this second term and no addition to our quarter time score. Thanks to Optus 5G, wonderful supporters of football in WA, as are front row screens. Tell you what, Paris, if you ever host a party and need an LED screen, hit front row screens up. They've got one of the best in the business. Just ask the Perth Demons. Here come the Tigers, a snap for goal. And again, that's their second goal back-to-back. That's been manufactured out of nothing. And that's from all of 35 metres as well. Under heavy pressure, Amy Franklin gets her second of the game. So the damn wall was about to break because they had repeat entries inside 50. Credit to the Bulldogs defenders, but then a little mix-up in the back half results in a nice snap for goal.
Yeah, very good finish.
So that's the biggest lead, sorry, Paris, of the afternoon.
Yeah, I just hope to see South's rebound from this and not allow Claremont to get a run on.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can stop their momentum.
Back in the middle. Looks as though they've managed to shark this one. The hand pass through Turley's hands. That kick's worked out okay in the end. Dumped off the hand pass was Wakefer. Fortescue gets dumped in the tackle. Trying to gather the crumbs now. Smith set upon. And the pack of Bulldogs. Kelsey Lang handing it back. On debut from University Footy Club. Strong work from Arnott, just clearing a bit of a clear path now. Receives the hand pass. Did that tackle slip high? No, it didn't, but that one definitely stuck for the Bulldogs. Good to see a bit of push and shove. That's Pierre Dirk. Tilda Husband in the ruck. Gilchrist trying to slap it forward. Manufacturing something was Andy Payne. Tigers with a series of hand passes. Wakefield was taken in a good tackle. Strom can kick up towards the wing. Bulldogs having to try and beat two Tiger defenders. Nice little ball popped over the top to Roden Zimdal. Unfortunately, the mark was spilled there on the near side by Turley. High ball up the mine shaft.
Nice little knock on there by the Souths girl.
Yep, to a teammate in Spencer who drives them forward. It's the furthest we've seen the Bulldogs with ball in hand, and we await the umpires. They've done a fantastic job today. Again, Connor Mannix and Ryan Harrison. Abdu Roach and Justin Davies on the boundary, and Brendan Williamson and Peter Tiernan, give them a shout out. The umpires do such a brilliant job. Another stoppage. Inside 8 minutes remaining in this term. So Swan District's a comprehensive win over the Sharks yesterday, and also Subiaco defeating Peel, throwing a bit of spanner in the works.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see it mixing up in the last end of the home and away season going into finals.
We've seen a steady progression from South Fremantle throughout this year. They only went down narrowly to a team that's lost a lot of talent in Subiaco, but then as the season goes, it really is an even competition, particularly teams 1 through to 5, and as we saw last year, anyone can really win it if you get inside that top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for Souths, correct me if I'm wrong, but apart from Mim Strom, I think she might be the only AFLW player that's coming back through that team as well.
Tua Karana, but we spoke about her earlier, just a prodigious talent, and one that you would suggest as Gilchrist gives away a push in the back. Definitely would be a player that teams will be keeping an eye on in the next level above. She's only 18 in August, and also Wakefar turned 17 this year, so the future's bright for the Bulldogs.
Oh, absolutely. I think this year's draft will be strong, and I think it'll be strong from here on in.
So it was the debut of the under-17 AFLW National Champs. That was Wednesday night. I believe they're playing again this week as well, so a good chance for those younger players under the spotlight of some other coaches and things like that. Yeah,
great to see them get the opportunity to show off their skills in front of a few scouts and that sort of thing, especially for those that are looking to get drafted, which I'm sure majority of those girls in those comps are.
Apologies for any language brought up by our effects mic at the moment. Socket back into the middle of the ground. It's good to see that Higgins has made a return, and now the rain really starting to fall much heavier now at Fremantle Community Bank Oval as we've got another stoppage. Lucky to be in the confines up here in the car park.
This is where I'm sure we'll begin to see a lot of stoppage after stoppage work, but I guess, here we go. Oh, how good was that? Just stepping through the traffic was Little, blazes up towards an open square, and not a bad result in the end, but you'd love to see Ashley Little just take the game on there. Fantastic kick, she had the distance. Yep. Kwinana Junior Footy Club. That club has produced fantastic players in the male and female competitions. Daniel Wells is a name that springs to mind. Very, very heavy rainfall at the moment.
Ella Ward doing a lot of the heavy hitting in the ruck at the moment for the Bulldogs. Locking horns there with Matilda Dyke. Back out to Little. She looked to break one tackle. The second tackle couldn't break through, so deemed as prior opportunity. So the Bulldogs will just look to lock up the exits here for the Tigers. Tough ball to mark out there for Andy Payne as it slips through her fingers. In fact, it might have been out of bounds on the full. Centering ball. Little waits at the back. It's escaped everyone. It's tumbling towards goal and almost rolled through. Eagerly chasing that football through a vacant goal square was Michaela Cocking, and that could have almost been contender for goal of the year if that had gone through the other side. But better signs for the Bulldogs. They've added to their quarter time score.
Yeah, if they can set up well here, they might be in for a good opportunity to score again.
So the one goal added to the right of screen for the Tigers and the one behind, so they're hanging in there. Umpire says that's a hold, and it'll come back the way of the Tigers. Far side of that ground. A couple of die-hard supporters behind the left goal post. Off hands, off Gilchrist's hands and out for a boundary throw-in. Spencer got the ball inside 50 via hand pass, but it's coming back. Kicked off the ground. Dropping the footy there was Ortler. Umpire didn't see it. Again.
Only a short shower, but I think it's definitely had its effect on the footy and the girls being able to pick it up cleanly.
We saw some fantastic marks in the first term. Right on cue. Roden Zimdal couldn't grab that greasy footy. Little on the scene, somehow shinned out of the 50-metre arc by the Tigers. That's gone high and wide. Out to the chasing pursuers in low. Now she grabbed the footy and umpire says no prior opportunity. They've had a good grip on the game. It's tough for the umpires in this condition knowing when to blow the whistle because the ball can easily slip out but can turn into an ugly spectacle after a while.
Yeah, finding that balance between letting the game go and making sure that it doesn't get out of control.
Emily Bennett runs out of tarmac, far side. 3-4 plays 1-1.
Emily Bennett getting a lot of footy at the moment.
So represented WA at shot put and discus. Tumbling ball inside 50. Again, the Tigers with numbers in defence. Surely that's no prior. Umpire agrees. They've done a sterling job so far. Yeah, so Bennett, a state netballer at age 11, obviously an underage competition, and then represented WA in athletics in shot put and discus. A bit of jack of all trades.
Yeah, she seems to be the sort of athlete that whatever she puts her mind to, she does pretty well at.
Talk us through your journey, Paris. I know you were a state basketballer.
Yeah, began in the basketball, obviously, like lots of the girls. Couldn't play footy when I was younger. And then I got sick of sitting on the bench all game. And so I decided to take on footy and play at my brother's club.
Yep. And your brother was a handy footballer?
Yeah, he was. I like to tell him now that I'm better than him, but I don't know if he believes it.
Well, I can back you up on that live on air, so you've got a record of it. Chiselling pass over the top. Hung in the air a long time, but it was effective. Dawson Gibbs using the body well. And juggled mark just through the hands. The Bulldogs forwards. Now that will be coming back. Last touch rule, but I have to say the Tigers have set up really well behind the ball in this term. Stabbing pass down the line from Dawson Gibbs. Rogers linking up. Kick forward by Orm, and that will do it. Half time. At Fremantle Community Bank Oval, Claremont getting the only goal of the term. They move now into a comfortable lead, 15 points. The margin at the main break, South Fremantle can only add 1 point with the aid of a big breeze, but better signs from them. Just quickly, Paris Laurie, the Bulldogs really stood up. The game seemed to be in that second term between the bullseyes and to the right of screen at half forward, and the ball just was almost like a tennis match. It kept volleying between, and the Bulldogs standing up. The dam wall broke. They gave away the one goal, but the better signs in the latter stage of that term for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Claremont would have been happy to see the siren sound just then, as Bulldogs took that mark just then, but it's only a matter of time when it keeps on rebounding back into that 50 that they're going to get a score from it. So I think probably lucky for Claremont there that the siren went when it did. But if Bulldogs can continue this, yeah, I think we'll definitely have a game on our hands.
Despite the heavy track and the wet conditions, there'll be plenty of highlights. We'll review those on the other side of this break, as both teams make their way off a very soggy Fremantle Community Bank Oval. We'll be right back on front row screens. Optus WAFL action for 2021.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple. Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
Wet and soggy conditions, Fremantle Community Bank Oval. Competitive game, despite where both teams currently sit on the ladder for the Optus WAFL women's season. As we have a look, the Seagulls enjoying the puddles out on the ground. Claremont in command of this game, 3-4-22 to 1-1-7. That margin, 15 points. They extended that by only 5 points in the first term. Let's have a look at some of these highlights, thanks to Optus. Matt Chechen's in commentary, and Paris Laurie. I've been impressed with the skills, particularly grabbing hold of the footy. We saw some fantastic marks in the first term, but at ground level, the skills have been even better from both teams.
Absolutely. And I think marking for girls is something that really wasn't a strength in the beginning when the WAFLW and even AFLW is first coming through. So it's good to see that girls really starting to take pack marks and those sort of things, bring excitement to the game for those watching.
So this was the first term, the goal being kicked there by Amy Franklin. She's kicked two today, one to the left of screen, the other to the right of screen, and we saw some impressive marks. This was the first goal for Wakefa, for the Bulldogs, into the very stiff breeze, a WA under-19 product. Bulldogs loaded with younger talent. That young lady on screen's been superb. Emily Bennett, probably best on ground.
Yeah, Emily Bennett's been fantastic today. A lot of footy, always safe in her hands, which is good. So if she can keep that up, and then the likes of Ella Smith and even Amber Goodwin-Wissick in the forward line. Hopefully they can link up some good plays.
Kate Orme had a very good second term, a quiet start in the first term. Jess Lowe's been consistent throughout the first half.
Yeah, I think both of those girls that are really good at holding structure for your team and those intercept marks and that sort of thing, setting up really well behind the ball, which sometimes it doesn't mean you get plenty of disposals, but you're critical to the team.
Now, I was literally about to mention that player, Ashley Little, who's taken a couple of good marks in defence, also Ugle as well, but Little, as you see her spinning her way through a bit of traffic there. And the Bulldogs, what I like, even though they've been under a bit of a barrage in that second term, they look to just take the game on. They bring the ball down the middle of the corridor instead of using the conditions and just playing the ball out towards the outer boundary lines.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, their risks seem to be paying off at times as well. So I think if they can keep doing it and keep the confidence up, then they'll break the game open.
So Roden Zimdal, as we see the Seagulls having a bath at the moment, both teams in the dressing rooms, and I would suggest that Boy McCormack would be pretty happy with his charges and still in this game at the moment for the Bulldogs, looking for their first ever win. So our wide angle shot there. Well, while we draw breath with the help of Optus, let's take a look at AFL Premiership player Will Schofield's return to the WAFL. It all starts with yes.
I started my career here in Western Australia. I played most of my first year at Peel. It was kind of a good transition between junior footy for me and then AFL. It was that middle ground where I sort of grew up a little bit, and it was why I was keen on coming back here. I really felt like that did have a lot to do with me developing not only as a footballer but as a man.
So Hawthorn have done it.
Probably took a long time to get over 2015. When you make a grand final, I think it's the best thing ever, and then when you lose it, you realise it actually could be the worst day of your life. 2015 was just a horrible day. It took almost 3 years to get back there. 2018 was life-defining for me. My best mate was killed in a bike accident. After round one, went to the funeral in Victoria. Pretty much considered not coming back to AFL. I had my first child in June of that year, so that was a real wake-up call for me, and it was great. Fatherhood, changed me a lot. It was a huge roller coaster ride for me that year. Really feeling like my whole AFL life, it was all just gone, and I missed the opportunity. I was not going to get the opportunity to validate my work by playing in a premiership. I wanted that opportunity to, in my mind, validate my worth as a player, but as a person.
The Eagle has landed for the Premiers in 2018.
Having won certainly helped that, but I've definitely come to realise your value isn't what you are as a player, it's what you are as a person.
Yeah, well, really, when Scully decided to finish up playing at AFL level, I think he was lured naturally back to Peel, because this is where he played his football before he played AFL, and he felt the sense of the community down here, and he's got a young family, so from what I can understand, it was quite an easy decision for Will to come back to the club, and we're definitely thankful that we've got him.
Like sort of any player that comes out of the AFL, you're exposed to an elite level of everything really that comes with AFL. Training, diet, mentality, you name it, we've seen it at AFL level. So I guess some guys go into coaching, and not really for me. I don't really see myself as a coach, but I do like teaching and I like leading young men.
I know he's really optimistic about the young talent that's coming through here at the club, so it's been great for him to run our Emerging Leaders program with our Colts and our senior emerging leaders. There's no doubt that he'll help those guys develop.
I do it fortnightly. We work through everything I've learned as an AFL footballer. So it's a little bit of a masterclass for them on leadership, but really it's about being a better man and leading better as a person, understanding yourself, and giving you a platform to succeed. If the guys go out and get drafted, I'd be proud, but it would be awesome to see. But if they come out and they've learned something and they're able to be a better person outside the footy club, well, I've probably played my role.
Live pictures of Fremantle Community Bank Oval. We just heard from Will Schofield, called his game yesterday. They were rather disappointing, but Obviously, a massive pickup for the Thunder. Former premiership player. The Pills women team going down yesterday to Subiaco, 5-4-34 to 2-7-19, as we see the umpires doing a fantastic job throughout the season, but making their way back on to the ground via the Olympic-sized swimming pool in the car park here. Other round 13 scores. As that siren indicates, the team's ready to come back onto the ground. Swan Districts defeating East Fremantle 11-5-71 to 3-4-22. They are a class outfit, Swan Districts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've had a few girls in and out from AFLW, but I think they've also had a few in and out from injury and that sort of thing. So they've done really well to stay consistent.
Not sure if they had access to Emma O'Driscoll at all in the WAFL season. I haven't seen her name pop up.
I don't believe so.
Her brother Nathan was outstanding yesterday in a losing team. So we await the two teams to come back out. Can run through the goal kickers. Firstly, for the Tigers, Amy Franklin has 2 to half time, and Amber Goodwin-Wissink with a very clever snap that dribbled through in the first term through the mud and through a vacant square, and Lauren Wakefart the only goal for the Bulldogs. Fremantle Jail in the background. Could probably call that the Andy Dufresne end of the ground. So the halftime score here as we go to our final break of this halftime, it is South Fremantle with a little bit of work to do, but they're still in the game, so don't go anywhere. It's the Tigers and Bulldogs. Optus WAFLW action will continue on the other side of these messages.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
2, 1, go!
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
Welcome back to the Port City, wherever you are watching around the world. Fremantle Community Bank Oval is the scene, and that team with a firm grip on the game. 3-4-22, the Claremont Tigers. South Fremantle 1-1-7. That margin, 15 points. The Tigers, a talented lineup. Paris, Laurie joining me in commentary this afternoon. You'd kind of feel that I know it's hard talking about a club that you spend a lot of time with and involved with, but time to cash in on some of that talent, you would think, this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I mentioned earlier, just learning, I guess, to play all together quite well and how one another plays. But yeah, you definitely think that, sorry, I meant just then, but you definitely think that they'd be sort of doing a little better, I guess, than what they are at the moment, and providing a bit more opportunity. I mean, I haven't looked at the goal scoring opportunities, but it hasn't been high.
Yeah. Talk us a little bit through your job. I mean, obviously you've spent time in the AFLW system with Fremantle and the West Coast Eagles, but as a high school teacher at a football specialist school, talk us a bit through that role and how important it is developing the future talent.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see that girls can go to a specialised footy school now. I think that's a very cool opportunity, and getting to harness that and help girls to get to that next level is something that I'm really proud to do. And it's super rewarding as well, especially when you get to see them come out here and play WAFLW once they've been through your system, sort of thing.
I just feel that in maybe the next 2 to 3 seasons, this competition is going to be red hot, because you're going to have a lot of those junior footballers, those young female footballers that have come through and through a complete pathway, whereas, I mean, obviously yourself and other players that have come from other sports, fantastic athletes, and they bring different aspects to the game, but you're actually going to be having hardened footballers come through in the next 3 to 4 years. Yeah,
I do think in the next, like you say, 3 to 4 years, I think there'll be a massive difference in the skill level in WAFL and in AFL women's as well.
Do you feel that the gap is slowly closing between the WAFLW competition and the next step up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been out of the WAFLW for 3 years now, and it's a lot better than when I was playing.
We start the third term. The Bulldogs in the red and white jumpers kicking to the right of your screen into a stiff breeze. The Tigers looking to extend their 15-point lead. 18-minute running clocks here. Thanks again to Optus and not Simply Energy, our scoreboard sponsors throughout this third term. Front row screens, the best in the business too. Events, sport, anything you need. LED screens, frontrowscreens.com.au as the ball gets towed down the outer wing. 15 metres gain, and that's an interesting spinning ball. Clever little soccer in the end. It's gained a lot of turf. You would think the next 5 minutes is going to be crucial for the Bulldogs, Paris, would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I think they need to get a score here to just take away that bit of that scoreboard pressure from them and reassert themselves. But
to also not concede a glut of goals. So the ball comes inside 50, providing a good contest. Was Ugle. Loved her work throughout 2 and a bit quarters. Footy gets extracted there by a Templeman. Can tumble one up. Nice little slap on hands and knees. It's from Emily Bennett, probably best on ground at the moment. Receives it now, feeds it out wide. Orm, and we saw the Champions League final in the early hours of this morning. We're seeing a bit more of it now. Clever soccer skills back inside 50, but it'll only be a shallow entry. Down the outer side of the ground. Tua Carino was looking to take the game on again as well. It's been a feature of the Bulldogs. Little scrappy to start this term. Bright sunshine, which was needed. Heavy showers in that second term. That's a strong tackle laid on Fortescue. She's been in the thick of it throughout the afternoon, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's good. She gets in and under.
Somehow given away a free kick there. She's claiming that she got away the hand pass, but the umpires have done a pretty good job. So as you would expect, all the players on that far side of the ground past the bullseyes in the middle. Slick hands for the Bulldogs. Bit of a stray kick coming out, but well read by Andy Payne. Wasting no time, bit of a stray kick. Awkward spinning ball. Going in hard for the footy was Little. Kick partially smothered, or in fact, no, the umpire's blowing the whistle now saying play on, so it must have been incidental. Ugle tries to trap the ball carrier. Gilchrist. I've seen a lot of players electing to go for the soccer. Through the hands there of Tua Carina. She tried to take on the tackler and no prior.
Really good defensive pressure there from Nat Bennett.
So Tua Carina and Wakefield, best players on the ground in that WA win over the Allies. The national championships earlier in the year, and I've loved the work of this player and Ashley Little. Has kicked 1 goal 4 this season, so can probably do it at both ends of the ground. Strong tackling continues. Brianne Spencer going nowhere. The 220s locking horns. Kayla Rogers. Little hook around the corner. Interesting ball. Low, fed it back by hand. Sweeping hand pass from Smith. Bounces kindly. Can she gather? That's Orm. Tries to get around the tackler. Unsuccessfully. Templeman and holding the ball. Kiara Templeman. Stabs it to a 2-on-1 that favours the Tigers. Hacked off the ground there from Kowald. Gains good meterage. Stooping down to pick up the football was Tessa Demanis. Oh, rather than 35 in McDonald. My apologies.
Tackle pressure.
Good tackle, yeah.
High once again. I haven't seen a girl really have any space and time.
No. So ball up on the paint of 50. Bulldogs need the first goal. That is good tackling. Is that going to be prior opportunity? Yes, says the umpire. Delana reluctant to give the footy back. She want to give it back quickly. Tua Karina. Approaching 10 games in this competition. Just stabs it inside 50. Heavy ground conditions there at centre half forward. Tua Karina goes again. Kick well smothered. That allows the chance now for the ball to be centred. But as we've seen throughout the afternoon, the Tigers just setting up really well behind the ball.
Claremont with numbers there, but you see just a small fumble and South are able to collapse in on them.
And the tackle slipped high there on Hamilton Smith. Looks to bring the ball out to this near side. Well, beautifully measured kick to Emily Bennett.
Oh, great centering kick there from Emily Bennett too.
Just peeling off little 45-degree angle kicks. Here's another one. Onto the chest now of Rogers, right in front of the interchange gates.
Oh.
4 kicks in a row. Player just took her eye off the ball at the wrong time, but the big don't argue from Arnott. Brilliantly done, and this kick mark game continues now. Back into the hands of Rogers. Peels a little kick inside 50. Didn't have the required distance on that one. Tua Karina. Bit of a poor bounce for her. Rogers tried to stop the football with her foot. Clever work at the base of the pack. Corralled, and the tackle was Scanlon. Difficult footy to pick up for Shakira Pickett. Manages to get away the effective hand pass. This is Bennett. And free kick.
I think, yeah, lasso rule there.
Yep. Three-4 plays 1-1. 7 minutes have elapsed in this third term. Up for grabs, taken. Second bite of the cherry. We've seen that throughout the early stages of the game from Wakefa. Talented player, but doesn't show it with that kick. Well read by Ella Smith in defence. Now they've got numbers.
Great switch kick from Ella Smith there.
And we've seen that throughout this term. This is Amy Franklin, can wheel around onto the right boot. Kicks to a contest. Mark won't be paid, nor a free kick. Jess Lowe. Bulldogs look to move the ball up to left half forward. Leading the chase was Fortescue. Goes off the ground 2 times with the toe. Only as far as an opponent. Can gain another 15 metres. Trying to step through the tackle there was Ella Ward. Kicks back inside 50. Is that going to be paid? It is. So breaking out on the strong lead, Casey Byrne from the Riverina Lions. Her first real run at the football this afternoon. 14 games in this competition. Windsock has died down a little, but this will take her best effort. On its way, trying to get the required distance. Hooks it towards the pocket. They managed to keep the ball in play. Centering ball, the attempted centering ball was smothered in the end. Bulldogs still favourites here. Full forward. Claremont have stood up so well, and they got numbers out of the back of the contest, and they can clear. So a golden opportunity for the Bulldogs goes begging. And a rare goal against the Breeze.
Interesting to see not many leads coming out for that
No.
that kick. And she was probably nearly 40 metres
Yeah.
out, which is definitely a push.
And the Tigers were just able to sit down at the drop of the football. Can they hit him on the rebound? One-on-one contest at half-forward, but there's no one further ahead of this.
Great mark,
Tigers
right.
streaming forward at the moment. Will the kick carry? It won't. Fantastic defensive effort getting back by Ebony Clarkson, who will seek the sanctuary of the boundary line and gets there. So she was one out. The kick just hung in the breeze a little too long, and that was fantastic defensive work.
Yeah, great mark by Brooke White. I think she maybe just needs to go a bit quicker and get it straight over the top to that girl running towards goal.
Goes to show that defenders should never give up, and that was a prime example of it. That's kicked up the chimney. Won't require travel the required distance. Strong work again from Ella Higgins, playing at full back today. Tigers, oh, that's a great rundown tackle, but the umpire says it's in the back. So it can happen. And the recipient for the Tigers, now with this breeze, might be able to get it right to the teeth of goals.
Yeah, unfortunate result from that tackle. Was a great
Yeah.
run down, but hopefully J-Lo can take the opportunity and reward Claremont.
Kicks from 35 metres and across the body, hooking through for a minor score, our first of the term. Inside the final 8 minutes of this term and out to a 16-point lead, rather. So Higgins looks to bring it in. That's a very high ball. That'll hold up in the breeze. Bounced in front of Payne. Kick further forward for the Tigers now by Carter. Too hot to handle, out of play, so a stoppage.
Great quick hands from Amber Goodwin-Wissick. Just couldn't quite snap it around far enough from Mika Carter.
Tessa Dumanis has been well held this afternoon.
Yeah, I think she definitely creates well. I don't know if the weather would be right up her alley.
Conducive for her game style. Snap around the corner again. We'll have another reset. Healthy crowd filing into Fremantle Community Bank Oval. There's Dumanis taken high.
Yeah, good call from the umpire then. Looks like she nearly lost her head.
Both players infringing.
This might be where Dumanis turns it on.
Recruited from East Fremantle Footy Club. 24 games, so an experienced campaigner. Would probably want to start this one at the left-hand upright. The breeze blowing will blow this pretty strong across the ground, but a good pocket to be in for a left footer, and she shows why. So the commentator's curse in reverse, saying a player that's had a quiet game then pops up, and that goes to show you that you do the basics, you get your head over the football and good things can happen, particularly around the big sticks.
Absolutely, and hopefully maybe that'll give her a little bit of confidence and a bit of a skip in her step to go into this second half of the game.
The Optus replay, perfect ball drop and the left foot using the aid of that breeze, and it held its line through for her first of the afternoon. 11 goals on the season. Could be an interesting race for their leading goal kicker this season. Dumanis up to 11 and Franklin has kicked 10 now.
I think your coach is always happy when there's a bit of competition for highest goal scorer.
So the Bulldogs will need to just shore up at the moment. They've done a really good job at the moment, limiting opportunities. I suggest the door could be closed on them in the next 5 minutes or so if they concede another couple. That's not going to help their cause. They give away a free kick. Hamilton Smith pokes it wide. Interesting attempt, one-handed by Ella Smith, but then steps around two would-be tacklers and can just load up. Kicks very long and high to a dangerous spot. Good tackle there on the forward line from Goodwin-Wissink. Bennett scragged off the football.
Good positioning there by Matilda Husband.
So she can kick a bit of a chaos ball there. And the umpire's blown the whistle, so that ball will come back. And the non-officiating umpire alerted the officiating umpire here on camera and saw an infringement, so the umpires continuing their good work this afternoon. I'm sure the Bulldogs supporters watching at home will breathe a sigh of relief there. They looked under the pump. Not out of danger just yet. Relief comes with the clearing kick out towards the wing. Crumbs gathered now by Yui. Toe down again, down the line, is going to come back. So here come the Tigers. Just lost the handle on the football, did Arnott. Taken in a good tackle by Ella Ward. Ball pitched kindly for Amy Franklin. You can send them back inside 50. Sticking with it. Great work. Little hand pass out the back now to Arnott. Arnott ran into trouble and was stripped almost basketball style. Fantastic work by Ash Little. Fed it off to her teammate. Under 3.5 to play. Was that in the back? No, said the umpire.
Claremont just missing a little bit of conversation, a little bit of communication there. Just two girls going for the same footy, not blocking for one another.
Something that the coaches would find, I imagine, a skill that's hard to teach too. It's not something that can be practiced.
Yeah, it is a difficult one. I'm sure they'll be frustrated watching it, but yeah, it's a tough one to train.
Nice work from Spencer, but it's been intercepted by Smith. Sold her teammate under a bit of pressure, who was held. Tigers, another opportunity to extend their lead. 4-5-29 on the Simply Energy scoreboard. South Fremantle treading water at the moment in their back line, 1-1-7. Slick hand pass allows another clearing kick. No clean mark can be taken. Bennett, hand pass partially smothered, looking for teammates on that outer wing. Now they bring it back into the corridor. Hurried kick under pressure. Straight up and down with the handball. They play jump ball with it on the 50-metre arc. Does that travel the required distance? Well done, Higgins. Had to stand up under intense pressure there at full back. Awkward spinning ball now. Who can have the clean skills? Rogers looks inboard to Demanis. Demanis sells candy. Does the full 360. Plays the 1-2. Demanis can straight now on the left boot. Fantastic work. Well, great composure from both players there. Firstly, Demanis linking up with Mika Carter. They played the 1-2, and Demanis, after I called, I won't bring you down with me, after I called that she was rather quiet. Have a look at this. Thanks to Optus, the full 360 with Carter, and returns the favour. And still a lot to do here, but just steadied herself. Could have easily blazed away and just used the breeze. That was probably the goal of the day.
Yeah, outstanding give and go there, especially in the wet. That was great.
So Demanis up to 12 goals on the season. 2 goals all to the left of screen this afternoon, and a bit of a heartbreaker for the Bulldogs because they really repelled repeat entries inside their defensive 50-metre arc, and then seemingly in the last minute and a half of this term they concede their 5th goal.
Yeah, they stood up for a large chunk of this quarter.
Here come the Bulldogs. Can they muster a late attempt at goal? Oh, that's a big, solid hit. The recipient of that was Yu. I may have pronounced her name as Yui before. Apologies if I've got that wrong. So ball out to the outer side of the ground rather. Bennett. It's Catherine Bennett this time. The Bulldogs with 20 seconds remaining. They need a mark, but they won't get it. Bugle being a definite highlight for the team that's behind on the scoreboard at the moment. 10 seconds. Can they weather this late onslaught from the Tigers? They'll need to take a mark inside 50 now. Through the hands from Goodwin Wissink, and the Bulldogs survive. So a quarter dominated by the navy blue and gold team. The Tigers extending their lead now as we turn for home. 5-5-35 now. South Fremantle remaining on their half-time score into a stiff breeze of 1-1-7. Claremont's class starting to show through now, and the Bulldogs will be up against it in the final term, you would suggest, Paris?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think this last quarter, they won't have anything to lose. So go back to that sort of risk-taking ball movement, try and go down the middle and get it down there as quick as possible. Bring that tackle pressure that they've had all day and really make Claremont earn it.
Chance for us to draw breath as we approach the home straight here for round 13 of the Optus Women's Waffle season for 2021. Go fix yourself a drink. We'll be right back here at Fremantle on the other side of this break.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple. Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
Welcome back to the port city of Fremantle. Fremantle Community Bank Oval. Scenic ground, but unfortunately the conditions are a little wintry today. Despite still being in autumn, Andrew Di Loretto addressing his charges. South Fremantle repelled a lot of repeat entries in that fourth term. To the left of your screen, there's a big breeze, as you can see by the players' jumpers at the moment. We'll have a look at some of the highlights thanks to Optus. And a feature this afternoon, a bit of fumbling, but first half was a lot cleaner. Players getting a little bit more tired in this second term, but Paris Laurier, special expert commentator today, and really on the back of Tessa Demanis and also Jess Lowe, the Tigers getting a bit of reward on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think they're bringing back a bit of the flair that they brought in that first quarter. A fantastic give and go down there, and girls looking for what other options are available and not just blazing away, which I think in the quarter just been South sort of fell into what Claremont were doing earlier on, and as soon as they're getting it, they're just trying to get that territory, but Claremont are setting up really well behind the ball to just pick those off.
We need to give a little credit to Ugle and also Ashley Little, repelling a lot of those repeat entries from Claremont, and they've really stood up in the back line, I believe, today for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was down there for a large chunk of that last quarter, and they did really well to hold up and not allow a score until very end.
So as we see this little 1-2 passage of play, thanks to Optus, that was the highlight of the afternoon with Mika Carter, that little give and go play. Those highlights brought to you by Optus. Thanks again to Front Row Screens. We have a look at the Bulldogs. They'll get the aid of a pretty strong breeze in this last term. It would be great to see them building a little momentum. They've been within 3 or 4 kicks over the last few weeks, and we said that this was going to be a danger game, and they haven't rolled over this afternoon, the Bulldogs.
Nah, hats off to them for they still come out every game and definitely challenge the other team. Be nice to see them get a few more on the scoreboard in this last quarter.
So Amy Fortescue and Emily Bennett Bennett's probably been the best on the ground at the moment. Rachel Ortlip, they're heading back, and it looks as though they're going to push Ashley Little forward. Spent a lot of time around the back and across half back throughout the game. She's kicked 1 goal 4, so see if she can be the spark that the Bulldogs need in this 4th term. So 18 minutes of football remaining in round 13, the Optus WAFLW season. Very even competition. I know Swan Districts have been the standouts, but a lot of teams snapping at their heels. Swan Districts comfortably over the Sharks yesterday, and Subiaco a win over Peels. We start the 4th term. The opening bounce 1 down by Husband. Looks as though we'll get a reset. Lucy Gilchrist. Riley giving the ball back to the umpire. I'm sure the team managers will be on overdrive for the washing of jumpers at the end of this game.
Especially south of those white jumpers.
Little hand pass back in the middle ground by Lowe. Ella Ward slung in the tackle. They've got numbers forward of this contest here. We haven't seen that too often. Ground level, Roden Zimdal. First forward 50 entry in. Here comes Gilchrist, steps around the tackler. Up to a one-on-one contest. Which way will it bounce? To the right of the upright and through for a minor score. But that's probably the ultimate start for the Bulldogs, would you say, Paris Laurie?
Yeah, really smart handball off the ground there from Lara. She knew that she was about to be tackled and just got it going their way really quick.
So a rare kick out this afternoon for the fullback. It was Ortlip. That ball just hangs still in the air. Well judged. Brianne Spencer. Now looking further forward into the pocket. That's a huge kick. Bit of a chaos ball in the end. And is that mark going to be paid at will? Sophie McDonald, we've seen some great marks this afternoon.
Didn't even recognise it was Sophie McDonald with their new hairstyle.
It's keeping everyone on their toes. And another good mark. So playing a bit of ping pong on the outer side of the ground. In fact, Brianne Spencer looks to be pretty capable above her shoulders. 11 games. Puts it back. Almost playing kick to kick there. McDonald getting a little fingernail on that one, so she was asking for the free kick, but it wasn't coming. What can the Bulldogs muster up? Rolling footy, outside 50. Andy Payne dropped the footy and a good tackle. To a Karina. Could you get it off there? No, but that was fantastic work from Lowe. Fed it off to Payne. Kicks further forward, up towards Franklin. Couldn't evade the tackle. Will it be rewarded? Not on this occasion. Franklin looks to be down as well. Landed awkwardly in that tackle. Big pack of Tigers players and only one Bulldog, but the ball somehow ended up in a red and white jumper's hands and they bottle it up. The umpire will extract the football. Is that Franklin coming off the ground?
It is, yeah. Hoping.
Favouring one of the
legs. She's jogging off, which is a good sign, but I'm hoping it's more a ankle than knee.
Yep. Both of us being school teachers, not trained in the physio area, that's for sure, so we won't guess. So reattaching the head back to the shoulders is Emily Bennett. Don't have to be a doctor to know that. Up towards half forward. Now, was that going to be prior opportunity? I think it is. Ella Smith took exception to the tackle. Reluctantly hands it back to a Karina. And there's a hold further down the field, so the ball will be advanced. Umpire's just looking to gain control now. Tua Karina was looking to step off the ground. She's going to have to come back on because 50 metres. So maybe a hold off the ground. I think that results in the ball being advanced. But either way, the Bulldogs will take it. Tigers defenders flood back inside their defensive 50-metre arc. Awkward spinning ball. Very hard to mark. Bennett at ground level. lending some heavy hand work there is Rogers as well. Now, I've got two 20s on my list, Brooke White and Michaela Rogers. So
Yeah, that's Brooke White in their orangey red boots there.
Ball up towards the goal square, and the Bulldogs will get another minor score. So they're winning the quarter, finishing the game strong, the Bulldogs. They just need to get it through the goal posts. Haven't seen Franklin reappear. It's a well-weighted kick to McDonald. Bennett had a lot of the football this afternoon. I've been impressed. Other than that kick, their disposal this afternoon, the Tigers looking to bite off 45-degree kicks. Bennett, point-blank hand pass. Got you in the face in the end, but no major damage. Yeah, I've been really impressed with the clean disposal and looking to just bite off 45-degree kicks and not just blaze away the Tigers this afternoon.
Their slow ball movement has actually been really good, hitting targets.
Decisive knockdown. Spencer was dispossessed. Liked Higgins' game this afternoon. Waterlog footy not hard to, rather easy to handle. Bennett caught one high there. The umpire didn't see it, so the Bulldogs can swing it inside 50. Working well in a tight confines there. Getting the snap around was Pickett, but out of play. Really good 7-8 minutes of passage of play for the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, they're getting so close. They're just missing.
Unfortunately, not the last goal wins rule, like in the school playground. Perfect throw in. Bulldogs player wrapped up in a strong tackle with Spencer. No prior opportunity, another reset. There goes Little. High, wide and out of bounds on the full. No spectators in that part of the ground, so having to do the extra work is Ortlip.
A couple of extra Ks for the GPS.
Got a couple of interesting stories about some former AFL players using their GPS and strapping it on certain pets at home in pre-season.
I need to get a pet.
Another intercepting mark inside 50. Breanne Spencer, her third. Must have a magnet at the moment. Gets very close to the player on the mark. Elects to go for the barrel and through for another minor score. So 3 behinds this term. Moves them to 1-4 on the West Coast Eagles scoreboard. You must be enjoying the brand new facilities down at Mineral Resources Park.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd like to say they're second to none. They're magnificent. Love going there.
Pretty trendy suburb too, Laugh Lane.
Yeah, like we spoke about earlier, Laker coffee, good times. Apparently it's got good neighbours, not sure about that.
Plenty of young families, it is a nice area. Now that kick possibly touched, won't matter. Spinning ball gathered by Yu. Or ducking her head through 2 tackles. The umpire pays that, says that's clean disposal from Little. Tries to push the Tigers player off her kick. Was effective. There's Demanis. Spotted her teammate with a hand pass. Gets it back now. The last little 1-2 that she played resulted in a goal. Not this time, unfortunately. Nowhere for Templeman to go. No prior opportunity. Good officiating and good strong work there from Hamilton Smith.
And good to see Amy Franklin back on field.
Yeah.
So must have been a little minor temporary injury.
Yeah, maybe a corky to the hip or down on the lower body. Gilchrist, head over the footy. Can she extract it? She can. Hand pass slapped down, however. Bulldogs manufacture a clearance towards half forward. Long way to track the footy back off a series of shins. Cool head in the end from Dyke. Is she taken high? Yes, she was. The umpires have been good this afternoon, rewarding those players in these conditions, getting their head over the footy and doing the basics.
Yeah, it's hard to decipher whether they're ducking or they're just coming up from picking up the ball, so they're doing really well.
Ortlet has ball in hand. Screaming for the footy short is Scanlon. That's where it goes. Scanlon spearing past down the broadcast wing. Mopping up at midfield was Clarkson, off to Higgins. Up towards Tua Corona, but couldn't get the mark or the hands to the footy. Good to see Franklin back there linking up with a teammate. That kick will come back. Ebony Clarkson this time with the clean pair of hands. Looks to bite off a kick into the middle of the ground. Can be risky. Bennett was on the scene. Payne towards Bennett, pushed, did well at ground level, looks for supporting Carter. Their first foray inside 50 this term. The umpire says a player was legged, and it's going the way of the Bulldogs in defence. Carter the one infringing as the Bulldogs look to transfer play. Players meet. Hamilton Smith dumped in the tackle. Ball spills out the back towards Clarkson. Nowhere really to go. So the hand pass is going to be received by Bennett. She gets a clean side at goal, clean airspace, and that is straight through the middle. So the Bulldogs, with so many repeat entries for 3 minor scores, and Bennett shows them how it's done. Let's have a look thanks to Optus. Clever hand pass in the end from Carter. That's her second goal assist in this half. Magnificent vision out to the left side of her body, and Bennett not happy with the covering of mud, but you caps off probably a best on ground performance and gets herself her first goal.
Yeah, she did well there. Right footer to take the contact and still be able to get a clean kick away. Very unfortunate for the Bulldogs. Can be very frustrating to have it down your end for so long and not be able to get a score, and then the other team do it so effectively.
Bennett with the ribbon and bow on her performance. 4 goals throughout the 2021 Optus season. Lucy Gilchrist hacking it off the floor. Clever work from Cocking, gaining some territory. Ortlup tracking that football. She's corralled by Turley. Your off-season program, Paris, is it a lot of running work, or is it more strength, or a combination of the both?
Yeah, combination for sure. I think it's just it's a bit of a slow build, trying to keep that maintenance level, not to go too hard too early, but can definitely feel the build.
Yeah. Free kick going the way of Ella Ward. Hands it off to Gilchrist, who loads up from 40 metres and over. 3 players there in the goal square and 3 for a minor score. They're 4th of this quarter. 1 goal, 5 now. They move to 11. That margin, an even 5 goals. As the breeze noticeably picks up towards the left of your screen. Emily Bennett just padding the stats now. Surely just kicked a goal and now steps off the ground. In fact, it was her sister that kicked the goal. That's probably why. Another intercept mark. Wakefer. Awkward spinning ball. That'll be a chaos one. Good strong defensive work from Sophie McDonald, not allowing her opponent a clean run at the goal. Approaching 4 minutes remaining on the West Coast Eagles scoreboard. Matt Chechens and Paris Laurie, hope you've enjoyed the call today. It's been a pretty high-skilled game despite our conditions. McDonald again, that's a brilliant tackle. In turn also Turley.
She goes slow to get up there.
Ortlup swings the hand pass out, comes back to her. A couple of possessions. Walking the tightrope now, the Bulldogs, centering pass. Back in towards the middle of the ground. Oh, busting out onto the football. That was brilliantly read from you. And she can clear her defensive lines, but only as far as a Bulldogs player. Out the back now. The barrel comes back inside 50. Was off hands, so we'll have a boundary throw in. Great bit of play from you before, just backing herself at full tilt.
Terrific pickup.
Another ball up. Cara Turley doesn't shirk from tackles or being tackled. Toe towards the line. Interesting volley off the ground. Come back with a 1-2.
Bulldogs well set up behind the footy there.
And they've made that adjustment well at three-quarter time. This is Ugle. She's been consistent performer this afternoon. Look quiet with the kick out of defence, but it's going to come back. So a high ball, bit of a chaos one. Sitting under it there was Ortlip. Couldn't take the clean mark. Back out to McDonald. She's got a teammate lending a hand there in Lang. Dumped in the tackle on debut. No prior opportunity.
Tigers feeling the pressure. Few fumbles down there.
Sure, Kelsey Lang will want to try and get a crumb here and get a goal on debut. Fremantle still attacking and incorrect disposal, so not looking to take the advantage. The Tigers into the final 2 minutes of this round 13. Approaching the business end of the season. Payne offers the lead. That's where the kick goes, but through the hand, stepping through was Gilchrist. Centering pass, doing the percentage thing, but no one at home for the Bulldogs. Dyke transfers play. Oh, taking her eye off the ball. This could allow a chance now for the Bulldogs. Strong tackle late on Cocking, but did manage to get the ball out and just can't get it through the big sticks at the moment. Another minor score, so they've tied up the term, albeit 6 behinds to 1 goal of the Bulldogs. As we said in the pre-game part of our coverage, Paris, business end of the season, particularly for the Tigers. They've got Subiaco on the menu next week and then take on the defending premiers in Peel Thunder.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely review this game strongly and work out what they need to do in the next 2 weeks to put themselves in the best position.
That's not a good sign there. The Bulldogs player just limping badly there, the number 12 in Dawson Gibbs. Hope she's okay. Probably the worst time in the final minute of a tough contest. Miller Smith gets dumped. Cara Turley again. He's laid at least 5 tackles in this term alone. Swinging fist inside 50. Can the Bulldogs get a little bit of silver lining for their cloud today? Doesn't look to be the case. Well, congratulations must go to Claremont Footy Club, but admirable in defeat have been the Bulldogs this afternoon. The Tigers rather, not having it their own way. The full-time siren, and it's Claremont 6-5-41. Again, defeating the gallant Bulldogs 1-6-12. So 7 scoring shots to 11. A couple of rush behinds there, but clearly a dominant display from the Tigers, Paris Laurie, across 4 terms this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think early on it looked like it was going to be a really close contest, and I think the score probably doesn't reflect what it was like at stoppages and around the ground. There was a lot of ping-pong action, and Bulldogs did well to lock it in their 50 for large chunks of the game, but when Claremont got their run, they were able to reward themselves and capitalise on those opportunities.
So I can run through the goal kickers this afternoon. Amy Franklin and Tess Demanis are the multiple goal kickers this afternoon, 2 goals apiece. Demanis, both of hers in the final 2 terms. Catherine Bennett also getting on the scoreboard. And Amber Goodwin-Wissink back in the first term, round out the goal kickers. And the solitary goal kicker, Lauren Wakefer, after a good mark in the goal square in that first term for the Bulldogs. Better signs for the losers this afternoon in the Bulldogs. Keeping the margin, but just six behinds in the final term in the end.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
the Bulldogs, but better signs with their intercept marking and the way they set up at the back. I know they got caught out by Bennett in the latter stages of the game, but they really took the fight up in that final term.
Yeah, as the game went on, I think their structures got better, and their setup behind the ball in that last quarter was really good. I think it's just sort of being able to capitalise when they do get the opportunities, because it is definitely frustrating to have the ball down in your end for so long and not be able to get a 6-point score from it.
So apologies to Emily Bennett. She was probably best on ground. It was Catherine Bennett that kicked the goal. So the sister stealing one off her. I did call her that, but she was probably best on ground today, would you say?
Yeah, I think both Bennetts were fantastic, but I think Emily probably takes the cake today, and Nat did well to get on the scoreboard. But yeah, both Bennetts were great. Emily just very composed and disposed of the footy very well.
Andy Payne winning plenty of the football, as did Jess Lowe as well. So fantastic even contributions for the team in navy blue today.
Yeah, both very solid.
So a tough game. There were some heavy tackles, some fantastic marks, and saw some brilliant goals. Goodwin Wissink making use of the conditions with a dribbled effort in the first term, and then we saw a lovely 1-2 play with Dumanis and Mika Carter that resulted in the goal of the day in the third term. And the team in navy and gold, as we'll head on into their huddle very shortly to hear their team song. They move on. They will take on Subiaco next week, who had an impressive win over Peel yesterday, so they'll be finding a bit of form. But it must be a relief, particularly for Andrew Di Loretto, because they've snapped a 4-game losing skid, have the Tigers.
Yeah, definitely be a relief for both Dilla and the team. They'll enjoy this song.
Let's head into their team huddle for their song. So the final score here at Fremantle Community Bank Oval. So we see some of the highlights thanks to Optus as we roll out. South Fremantle 1-6-12, not enough to defeat the Tigers. 6-5-41, they're back in the winners' circle. They started the season so well, 6-2. Four straight losses their form has been arrested and corrected, and they will go on to play Subiaco next week. Just having a look at some of the other fixtures for next week. It will be round 14 of the Optus WAFLW season for 2021. Peel Thunder will host Swan Districts. That's a 12 p.m. bounce down at David Gray's Arena. East Fremantle take on South Fremantle, 2 p.m. That's at New Choice Homes Park. And Claremont will take on Subiaco, probably game of the round at Revo Fitness Stadium, 3:10 p.m. next Saturday. Paris Laurie's been a great experience calling our first game together. Thanks for your input throughout the afternoon.
Thanks for having me. It's been enjoyable.
And best of luck keeping up with the pre-season, post-season / pre-season program at the West Coast Eagles.
Thank you. I need it.
All right, as the highlights roll out, on behalf of the team here at Front Row Screens, we look forward to your company for round 14 next week. And Matt Chechens, on behalf of the team, signing off from a very wet and windy Fremantle Community Bank Oval. It was the Tigers, comfortably. Look forward to your company next week.
This WAFLW live stream is brought to you by Optus, proud partner of the WAFL and WAFLW. The West Coast Eagles, supporting WA female footballers to follow their dreams. Kia, proud partner of the WAFLW. This is Kia. Simply Energy, supporting WA Footy's talent pathway.